Hello, hello, friends. I am Tara, and it is time to get crafty. So today we are doing a technique tutorial, and we're going to do a stamped background with our Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers onto some amazing Bristol Smooth cardstock, which I'm clearly showing you right now. So this is my first time doing a technique tutorial video, and I'm also doing this crazy picture-in-picture voiceover thing. So we'll see how it all goes, how you guys like it. I thought it would be something just a little new and different to do with the various videos that I'm going to put up. So today we're going to deep dive into how to do a stamped background with your Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. These markers are so versatile, you guys, and they do so many amazing things. So I have cut a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, which is my favorite cardstock to use with these particular markers, down to just smaller than the front of an A2 card. Now I have one of my favorite background stamp sets, which is the Lawn Fawn Chevron stamps, and I picked out 3 colors of Zig Clean Colors. You can see I'm showing you the colors as I use them. And I am literally, you guys, just going to color with these markers directly onto my stamp. So these markers are watercolor based, so they can do a lot of really similar things to what a watercolor paint would do. I'm clearly like, I can't sit still, my chair swivels and I'm swiveling. I also can't decide how the lighting is working out in here, so you guys will have to help me decide if we like this or not. But anyway, so I'm just coloring each portion of the background stamp that I want to be the different colors. I'm going to do kind of a rainbow background, and I'm just coloring directly onto my clear stamp. It is going to stain my stamp a little bit, but it's not going to hurt it, okay? So just don't worry about that. Now I'm taking my spritzer off camera, and I did a couple spritzes, so you can see that it's wet there. Now I'm just going to stamp directly onto that cardstock. Now this cardstock works great with these markers because it blends really well, but keep in mind it is not watercolor cardstock, so you don't want to like drown it in water, or it will start to kind of pill and fall apart a little bit. If you want to use watercolor cardstock, watercolor paper, the Tim Holtz watercolor, Canson watercolor, just any watercolor really, you absolutely can do this technique on watercolor paper as well. You could also do it without the water spritzing and get a more, like a less watercolory look with your markers. Now, part of the reason I do the watercolor look is because it's awesome, but another part of the reason that I do the watercolor look is because it's like nearly impossible to get a perfect image with these markers because they're so water-based. So they're going to go on the clear stamps and they're going to beat up a little bit because they're super water-based. They're watercolor markers, right? And so rather than getting a nice even coverage like you would with like an ink pad, it's going to beat up anyway. So I just like lean into it, right? I'm like, let's just do a super watercolory background. And then I don't have to worry about the fact that it's beating up. So that's why I add the extra water, and it gets even kind of better as you go along because then the stamp's already kind of wet from the last time when you start coloring over it. You get like an even better watercolor effect. So as you can see, I'm just layering those stamps one under the other. These building background stamp sets are so perfect, you guys. They are like background for dummies. Like I always say I'm not an artist. That's not true. Obviously, I create art, but I don't create like unique original art, okay? I don't draw. I can't like paint like my own pictures. So background stamp sets like this are like a godsend for me because they just let me look like I'm doing it wunderbar, like without having to actually have the skills to draw it. So I'm all done stamping. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take a baby wipe and I'm going to wipe off this stamp. You can see it's a stain, the pink especially stained. I've used this stamp with pink before, so it's like extra pink. Clearly one of my favorite colors in the Zigs. But it doesn't ruin the stamp. You can use it with other colors later. It's just a stain. It's not actually ink on the stamp forever, so don't even sweat it. And then I'm going to add a little something extra to my background because the theme of this party that I'm making this birthday card for is sprinkles. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? My niece is turning 1, you guys, and oh my gosh. Oh, so cute. I saw her today. She's amazing. But I wanted this background to look extra sprinkly. So I just scribbled on my craft mat there, my nonstick craft mat, which I wrap around a clipboard because it's just easier. It's like mobile. I scribbled each of the 3 colors that I used. I spritzed some water on there, and then I'm taking a paintbrush, and super simple, you guys, I'm just flicking some dots onto the top of this background. What it's going to do is give it just even more of that kind of mixed media watercolor vibe, and you can see it looks like there's little sprinkles on there. So, super easy to create a background with your Zig Clean Color water brush pens. You guys, you can do this with any stamp set. It's absolutely super fun to do. You can see how it looks on my finished card. Stay tuned because I'm going to do a technique tutorial on those little shaker guys, as well as later I will do a start to finish project and show you the entire card. So however you'd like to learn, you guys, that's what we're here for, is to help you learn in all the different ways. I don't know why I always talk in plural person, but thank you guys so much for watching today. I super appreciate you. If you would hit the subscribe, then that little bell down there to tell you every time I post a new video. I will totally catch you next time, and check out these other videos while you have a couple minutes. Thanks, guys. Bye.